So I'm going to work for around 2 hours and a half, I think. So I'm going to work for around 2 hours and a half, I think. So I'm going to work on this. I decided not to do the SVG stuff because it was really hard to find ways to create SVGs unless I paid someone or I had Adobe Flash or something like that to create SVGs. So I decided that it's just not worth it, not worth the time. So I'm gonna do normal pictures and then do a DAX. Not a DAX, market, NFT market. And I was working on this stuff. First, I spent a lot of time working on the tests and the contracts itself, and I still don't know really well if I did everything correctly. And the issue is, if I didn't do everything correctly, then I'm gonna have to restructure the contracts after I finish the front end. And I don't really like the way that this navbar is. It seems too simple. I don't know why. And I'm thinking about changing into React Bootstrap navbar. And then yesterday, I think I stopped when I had the idea of putting this create button here, putting it here. Because right now, what I have so far is I have these three paths here. The navigation bar is the one that loads on every page. So I put it outside of the routes. And then I have the explore page to create your own NFT. We should put this. And then I have the profile, which is the one that shows your NFTs. But then I was gonna do a whole page for the create, but I think it makes more sense and is easier to just put the button. Let's see here. When I click here, it goes to the create, and I style this button to be like this. So I'm thinking about putting this button here instead of the create NFT. And I think that's what I'm gonna do now. So navigation CSS. I don't know why it's not showing the shortcut, but whatever. Sometimes Copilot can be annoying. And I was having some problems with the imports as well. I don't really understand why. The project was working because when you follow the tutorial, they have some imports where you import the folder. You just specify the folder here, and then it imports the three files inside the folder. And I was trying to do the same thing, but it wasn't working. So I had to separate everything into its own file. And then I have to put this here. The only issue with doing things this way is that I'm not sure if I put this whole entire component here, if it's gonna mess up the navbar. That's the problem. I hope not, because I think most of this code is the pop-up stuff, just the button here that shows up in the main page, and the pop-up, the model shows only after you click the button. And it's not really, it is inside of the navbar on the HTML, but it's not really part of the navbar visually. So I'm hoping that it doesn't change too much. What the fuck did I do? I accidentally closed that. Okay, so it is here, but obviously I have to change the CSS now. Hmm. So the CSS for this is on the buttons. Also learned the bootstrap thing that I didn't know, that I spent a bunch of time trying to figure out. These letters here, it means the P means padding and the M means margin. X means far left and right. So this says padding left and right of the shoe. And it's on REM, I think. And then, but sometimes for some reason it doesn't work. I guess it's because of the space of the div there, or how much space I have. So it's a little bit annoying to change the dimensions only with Bootstrap as well. And I was using this other guy's project to try to incorporate on mine, see if there is, because he essentially did the same thing, but he did everything with one contract, and I'm doing it with two. So the hard part is gonna be to incorporate the marketplace and the minting contract in the same thing. Yeah, I changed this one. So I guess I have to change this style of the div. Let me see if it's working first. Okay, apparently it works. For some reason it doesn't show here. Oh, I don't have the file. Maybe that's why. Ah, there we go. And then if it doesn't allow me to create. So I think I wanna delete this for now. I will leave it like this and delete this page. Nice. So I think on these my NFTs, what I'm gonna do is just the same thing that I had on the other project, which is to show the NFTs. I just have to understand what's going on. Because the issue here is that I have the other contract and I can't necessarily. So I have this profile. So this is the one that I'm using to the other one, so I can delete this. I'm gonna change the CSS in the end, I think, because I think the hard part is gonna be to incorporate the smart contracts. So it makes more sense to only put that in the end. Only work on that in the end. Now that at least it's not I can see there. Which can be also a problem because might be the case that I can't style and then I'm gonna have to figure out another thing to do. But yeah. So this is the file that has the NFTs. And if I remember correctly, the index.js, I think is this one. Yeah, so what I need here is the address, which is gonna be message.sender probably. Well, it can't be because I'm gonna be calling three ethers, so it's gonna be the contract address or the address that signs in the page, and then the URI, which is created by IPFS, and I think it's on this page. And then this page uses the minter functions to create the stuff. So I think I can just copy this page and put it on the profiles, and then I can change the stuff that I need. And then later on, once it's working, I can delete this file and just stay with the other one. So it's getting perform actions and address from this use contract kit, which is a function from Silo. Then it has this NFTs array, this loading state, and then NFT owner, set NFT owner. Yeah, the issue here is that on the contract, on the marketplace contract, I need to get the NFT, the contract of the NFT. I'm not sure how to do that. Because if you do things in the same contract, you have everything on the same thing. But if you separate them, then you have to specify what NFT you're passing into the other contract so it understands. And also the token of that NFT. I'm not sure how to do that. This is the function that is going to create NFT. Hash contract. And this is the part I think I have to change, maybe. No, this is the part I'm gonna change on the Explore page, I think. Because this is saying if the NFT owner is equal to the address, then it's gonna display this button, and that adds NFTs. Yeah, that's the thing. I think I'm gonna have to mint one, at least. To see if it's working. Because the purpose of this, I already did it on the other button, on the create NFTs, on the top. So I can erase this part, but first I need to make sure that the other one is working. Oh, that's the thing that I was thinking about. I remember yesterday that I have this save function here that's coming from the index, but on the create part, I'm not. This is not linked to the index page. So that's a problem. Because oh, now I remember. So I'm gonna have to go into the create file and I'm gonna have to put this function here, I think. You have this save. But this comes from where exactly? Oh, is the add NFTs. So I have to put this function here, I think. And then I have to put all the other ones there as well. So probably that's gonna be the difference, is that on this one I have these functions here. And then so let me see. So set loading is this one. I don't think I need this one as well. You just remove that from the other one. Because this is used to display this conditionally. So I don't need that one. Then I need to create NFT, which comes from the minter. Can I remove this? First, let me see the create NFT. Oh, it's not on this one. It's this one. I think it comes from here. And this. So this is the imports that were not working when I was trying to do on my project. So let's see if it's gonna work or not. And then get assets. And now I have to think, because if I'm gonna do things like this, let me see. Create was one back, two back. Where is it? It was here. Yes, I think this is fine. It seems to be working, so I think I'm just gonna add all of them and then see which ones I'm not using. Up here. I can remove the address, I think. Or maybe probably you're gonna remove the save as well. I'm getting this contract from. Oh, here. Oh, it comes from here already. So this is was called on the app.js, I think. I don't remember really well. Because the issue now is I need to know where this contract comes from so I can put it on the, because this is supposed to be the contract of the NFT. Maybe I can just get the contract somehow. Yeah, I can create a contract, but here. No, it's not on this one. I'm gonna put some music on. I don't remember off the top of my head how to create a contract. I know that you have to use the ethers library and then maybe it's get contract factory, but I don't remember really well. Maybe not the ethers, the hard hat library. I'm trying to think, where does this come from? This Minter contracts. Because if it was a page that I haven't modified, then I can see. And if it's not, I'm gonna have to go through the silo stuff again. Or maybe I have here. No. Well, maybe it's this one. No, this is from the other project. I think I can erase this one as well. So probably gonna have to look it up, because I think it's on the app.js thing. Oh yeah, I can use these files to get the ABI and the address of the contracts. I think I'm gonna use the same card for both displaying the, for displaying on both pages. Just easier. I also removed the attributes from the images. I don't think he's gonna talk about the app.js. So another thing I have to think about is whether or not I'm gonna mint first and then allow them to list, or mint and list at the same time. I think minting first and then allowing to list is gonna be harder, I think. Because I have two separate contracts. So the problem is the IDs of each one. It's kind of confusing, and I couldn't find answers because people seem to do it this way, where you have to get the IDs of the minting contract are not related to the marketplace contract, and when you pass an NFT to the contract, to the marketplace contract, it stops being is sent from the NFT address to the marketplace contract. So it's kind of like the user loses the NFT, it gives to the marketplace. It's still the user's NFT, but it's on the marketplace now. And there's no way to link the two. At least that I could find for now. Probably there is, but it's more complicated then. And then the issue with this is that it becomes a lot harder to allow for them to readjust the price, and if you do on two separate contracts. And if you do on one contract, then it's a lot easier, but then you don't have the ability of allowing other NFTs from other places to be placed on your marketplace. That's the issue. Because of the way that the function is structured. But maybe you could create all in the same contract and then just add different functions to accept the NFTs from other places. That could be a way, actually. But now that I did this way already, I'm gonna try to figure out this way. So I think I'm gonna add the price as well. For them to list when they mint already. Or maybe we'll talk about here. Also, is use minter contracts from the hooks. And the hooks is the file that has the contract address, I think. The hooks file. Yeah, so it passes on here. using this thing. Oh, and then this calls use contract, which sets the contract. So this is the file that I was thinking about, that I couldn't remember. So ABI contract address, and then I create the same file for the markets. Use contracts. Okay, so I can use these two files from the hooks on here. I'll also have to get this use balance as well. And this is probably gonna get the balance of the address. Yeah. Balance, get balance. And is this on the same directory as the create? Probably not. So rooks is here, create is here. So it's 1, 2 up, and then hooks. Yeah, there we go. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to allow this destructuring thing because it wasn't working before when I tried. And then here I'm also gonna use market contracts. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna copy this stuff from the index and put it on the profile. And then I'm gonna remove the part where you had the button to allow you to create NFTs, because I'm doing this on top there. So now I have the 2 contracts here, and I have to put them in here. And minter contract is gonna be, I think I'm just gonna copy, but it's gonna be use minter contracts. And then the other one is gonna be use market contract. I think I got the wrong one. And this one. Then I have to import this notification from the notification file, which is somewhere here. Where is this? This is a file that essentially has HTML for displaying a notification message on success and error. There's nothing special, it's just separating into a component for the design of the project, so it's easier to understand. Maybe it's on, yeah, it's on the UI, so it's this file here. And then it passes this thing through here, so I'm just gonna import that. Import before, imports. Notification. Okay. So this file is on here, 1 up, 2 up. It's probably 2 up from here. Our UI is on the components. As is 1 up then. Here's profile UI. So it's 1 up, Then UI notification. Okay, so it's correct. But it's still giving me this. Because this was the problem that I was having with these imports. Here I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for this contract, but for market contracts. I think I'm gonna try to fix one bug at a time. Maybe if I remove the destructuring, that's worked on some occasions, but it's defined but never used. Or maybe I should just do notification success and notification error over here. It's easier to copy from here. And then Chu asked, where does it come from? React Toastify. I think I'm gonna search this because at least it's out of there. And this would obviously go here in the save part. Then here below this I'm gonna put, below the external URL, I'm gonna put the price. And then I need to create another form, another thing here to get the price. And then I need to put the price here as well, so it doesn't allow the person to create the NFT without setting the price. And then on the function of the price, I can just I can call these add NFTs. Oh, actually, I'm gonna be calling this one for all of them actually. And then I'm gonna be passing the data. So the price is gonna be the input price. I have to make sure that it's an integer. So I have to think about how to do that. I think I'm gonna create a separate function for price. Or a float actually. And I need to convert it to a way as well. Yeah, so I'm gonna probably create a separate function for price. Then when the input is gonna check for if the input is I have to think about that, but let me focus on this stuff first so I don't get sidetracked. So get NFTs comes from here, from get assets. And then I have to get use callback from this thing. As far as I understand, use callback is supposed to help you memorize functions, which is kind of an advanced concept, which is basically putting things into an object so you can use it later and save memory. But I don't understand really well how it works, so I'm gonna look at this later and the truest, I think. After I finish all this, correcting all this stuff here. Was used before, so I'm defining this stuff. Oh, I thought this was a function. So here. So Alt and then arrow key to move everything up. And there we go. I think I'll be right back. think I forgot to say, but I also did development branch, Git branch. And now it makes more sense to me. The more I do projects, why people use Git so much is that once you have a big project, you don't want to risk running all the code that you built so far. That's why you build branches. And it did made sense to me back then, but I didn't have the experience of working on these bigger projects, so it's a lot more. It forces you to use this stuff because you start needing it. Yeah, and it's a different thing than just using because you want to practice. So now it's like, okay, I have to use this because it makes sense. Don't want to ruin all the other codes, so I'm gonna work on this development branch until I have everything done, and then I'm gonna merge with the other one and push once I'm ready to deploy, to ship, let's say, then I'm gonna merge everything on the other branch and do the building stuff. So NFTs is assigned but never used. Oh wait, did I get the whole function? Almost add NFTs. Oh wait, just deleted this. Set loading. But in my mind, this is supposed to return something. So let's see where this is. I'm kind of mixing the two files, so I have to be careful to not be confused. Because this is supposed to be passed into the other one as add NFT. The other one's gonna pass the data, so now I'm passing directly. But this add NFTs just does this stuff. I guess this is enough to get the NFTs. Also here, there's a new state. So it's gonna get assets. But why here is not screaming at me? And the other one is. Doesn't make sense. Almost get assets. Maybe it's because I didn't save. So I guess on this part I don't really need to interact with the market contract that much. It's only gonna be the creating the NFT on the market. So I guess I can put on this add NFT function. I can make another function that receives the... Yeah, but then that's the problem that I didn't understand in the beginning. Is how do I pass the NFT contract into the other one? I guess I'm gonna have to look at other projects to see how they did it. Maybe here it's using on the bottom here. Oh, fetch contract owner. This is also something confusing for me because when you fetch, the owner is not necessarily the person that has minted, because the person that creates the contract is different than the person that mints in my mind. But this makes it seem that it is the same thing, where the owner is the person that minted in this case, which I don't fully understand. Oh, so maybe I have to copy the use effect as well. Use effect is gonna run once or every time these things change on the page. Yeah, but that's the issue, because I'm not really... That's the difference between this page and the other one. I'm not really displaying anything when I create the NFT. Now I'm thinking, can I redirect them to the My NFTs page after they press the create NFT button? I think I'm gonna close this file. I need to close the files that I'm not using so I can focus on this stuff. Loading, I think I can erase from here. Because I'm not really loading anything. Then I can just erase from this one. Now the question is, am I gonna use the NFT owner? Probably. So I think I'm just gonna copy this one here as well. And this is the model stuff. And the thing is that these things are used on the user fact for the page. So I think I'm actually confusing the two, because this is just supposed to mint, but the issue is that I'm gonna need probably... Because how do I get the NFT from the contract? That's the thing. Maybe just the address of the contract that they want. Yeah, I think that's it. It's the address of the contract, not the NFT of the person. So you need to pass the address of the contract, of the NFT contract, the token URI, and the price to make an item. The issue is I have to keep track of this token ID somehow. That's the problem. That's why I think it's easier to just pass. Whenever I create the NFT, just pass it. Because then it always gonna be token ID 0 on the NFT contract, but then I need to put, I think I'm gonna put on the minter contract, on the minter function, on these add NFTs. So I think I'm gonna scratch this from this page. I'm gonna use it on the other one probably, so I can get rid of this one. Use balance if I need that. Probably not, because that's being handled here maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to handle that here. So I'm gonna change this. Where is it? Here. But the thing is that the contract is coming from... Yeah, but I think this is fine. I could just erase the minter contract here. The only thing is, can I use... I'm not sure if I can use React hooks instead of this minter thing. Maybe it's better to pass the balance as well, actually, now that I think about it. Because then I also have the same, everything on the same page. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. All I have to do is modify the arguments that create NFTs when I receive. So maybe I should do that right now. Market contracts, and then pass here, and I also need to pass the balance. So this is gonna get the balance of the wallet and the contract and the market contract, and then it's gonna pass to the create NFT. And then when I create NFT, I'm gonna use the make item of the market contract to list the NFT. So I think this one I can also erase, since I'm not gonna display on this page. And I also don't need to get assets, probably. Yeah, then I'm gonna have to modify these functions or create new ones, because I'm gonna get the assets from the market instead of the... Yeah. But then how I'm gonna see who is the owner? That's the thing. Because when you create a contract in the market contract, when you create an NFT and you list on the market, it passes that NFT to the market, so you're no longer the owner. That's the thing. Because the problem here is how I'm gonna do that. I wanna do this off-chain because doing on-chain is too expensive. And the recommended practice is to do as much computation as you can off-chain, because it saves gas. But that's the biggest problem to me. the thing that I spent a bunch of time thinking about the easiest way that I can make this work, because if I pass the NFT here each time, then how I'm gonna filter the market items to get only the owner items? That's the thing. Oh, maybe I can use this payable message sender. Huh. Yeah, I can use the payable message sender. Yeah. So all I have to do is think about how to... I think you can use... Solidity comes with getter and setter functions. I was gonna put a set function and a get function here, but then I researched and I remember that Solidity comes with these functions. So I think I can use these functions to get the items. Because now I remember. I was doing a function to retrieve the items from the contract. But then I realized that the computation is probably better to do off-chain, and that there's this getter function. Then I can use the getter function to filter the items on this item list and make a condition to when the address of the wallet is equal to this address here from the contract function. So I think I can get rid of this here, probably. And then I don't need to get assets as well. So now all I have to do is add the price function. And I can remove this from here as well. Hopefully this in part works. You just go back, it's not being used anymore. It's not exported, so maybe I forgot to export this. Yeah, but this is the thing that it was failing. I don't know why though. Because I am exporting here, but for some reason it doesn't work sometimes. Maybe I'm destructuring and I shouldn't be. Where is that? And I don't understand why it works with this one, but it doesn't work with this one. It makes no sense to me. So maybe I should put default there. Because this is just export. It doesn't make any sense. And if I destructure, also it's gonna give me an error. So maybe I need to specify the file here. Let's see. But then it doesn't make any sense why I don't need to specify with the Minter contract. So I have no clue what's going on here. And I search for this, but it's kind of a hard thing to search for. Yeah, now it works. Because I think I understand what is going on. When you do this, is like you're trying to import the folder instead, the file instead. But then why doesn't it work? Why does it work when you do it with this one? It doesn't make sense. In my mind, and they're both exactly the same thing. The only thing that changes is the files here, or the ABI and the contract address. And these files are were created on the deploy script of the contract. And pretty much you do the deploy script so that it creates these files on this folder using the fs file system or something like that from Node.js to read and write files, and then you use that when you deploy the script to create these files with the addresses. Then it's using this to get the contract, to create the contract. Okay, set that IPFS. And the IPFS is used on the image here. Set IPFS image. Yeah, so now I'm gonna think about the price function. So I have to think about how to get... I don't know why these colors are weird as well. So I'm gonna make a use state to price as well. Price. Set price. Start at 0. Yeah, now I have to think about the two-way stuff. I think I have that on the tests. I can use those functions. First, let me create here. I think it's gonna come after external URL. Or maybe it should come after everything. It should probably come after everything. Input price. Price. Now this is the... Maybe it should be a text area. I don't understand why the placeholder is not showing there as well, but whatever. And this will be set price. But then the issue here, that's why I need to create a function, is that this is gonna be... I need to parse this into the... So maybe we should put get price, any target value, and then I create this function here. Does it need to be async? Probably not. And then E is going to be the event. So now how do I check if this is a... I can just do a try catch block, probably. Try E to... How do I convert to number? I have to search for that. Maybe it's this. And now Actually, I need to convert this. So first, let me put catch here. Console log. Catch. Error. Then put this to us. Price must be number. So I think this is gonna be always a string on the type, but I think converting to a number should fail if it's not a number in the form of a string. Another thing that I learned recently that I saw on another channel is that the strings are just numbers as well. Well, obviously they have to be because they're on the computer, but you can't do these conditions based on the numbers of each letter, because each letter is equivalent to a number, which is interesting. So sometimes you can do filtering statements or if-else statements and regex patterns just by using the numbers of the letters from the ASCII table, which I didn't know before. So how to convert string to number in JavaScript? Also think I'm gonna open the test file here. Tests. Because in this I have these two functions here. And the thing is, so maybe I'm gonna have to import or require, but then can I do that? That's the thing. I guess I just try and see. Oh, I also forgot to put price here. It's gonna be required. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do this. It doesn't work. Maybe if I put here. Oh, now it works. But I'm not sure if this is really the best practices. Because the other one didn't have prices. So maybe I should just search for that directly, I think. And this can be dangerous. But I guess it doesn't matter. It kinda does actually, because it's not that they can exploit, but it's obviously bad if you list an NFT for a price that you think you're listing for, and then it comes out with a different price. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm thinking about, is that the price is gonna depend on the network as well. So it's a bigger problem.
Is there mercy for those who strive so hard?
I guess I can look at the other project, how the other guy did it. This one. Set price. I also did this thing here. So I guess this shows which network it is. But what if I have different ones? Then I think you can probably get the network somehow. And let me see this function. He didn't do any cleaning of the input, which is interesting. Oh, here. Ethers util sparse ether, price to string. So let me see if I can do that. Hopefully it's that easy. I'm just gonna have to see how did he import there. Yeah. I just want to finish this so I can move on with the machine learning stuff. It's gonna get this done. Hopefully I can get it done by today. So hopefully this is gonna work, I think. And here's not price, here's the just getting the inputs and converting to a string. But isn't the inputs already a string? Maybe I have to do different because the way that he did here is different. So setting price to that. It should be. Oh, actually, it might be a number. But I thought the input's always a string, regardless if they type a number or not. But whatever. And then I have to just see if I should put that silo there or not. Maybe I can think about a way to put the network instead. To get the network and then put as a variable there. Just using state. This thing you did here. Yeah, the thing is he did differently as well, but it's after the input. So it should be after this, I think. Let me see how this looks there. I'm also gonna look at his site. Okay, so it's not that bad. But it could be better, obviously. But I think this is fine. I'm not gonna worry too much about these details here. Because it's not something really... Maybe I will work on this eventually. But I just want to finish so I can submit on the tutorials, the challenge thing. And then I can move on to the other stuff that I'm doing with machine learning and data analysis, and because the other stuff I think is higher priority for me right now. So I just want to get this done. But maybe I'll change this in the future. But now let me see if I... Yeah, but the issue is if I allow them to select networks here, then I'm gonna have to put a function that prompts them to do that with their wallet. And that's gonna be a whole different thing, because then you have to do the use balance and everything again. And then you need to have multiple different contracts as well for each network. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's probably easier. Definitely easier. So now what's missing here? So I have all of this data. So the data is getting the price. No, sorry, I forgot to put here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. My only concern is if I do all this stuff and it's not enough to win this stuff, the challenge. So, and that's what I'm doing this for, just for the challenge. So I think this part is done probably. Oh no, I have to modify the create NFT function. So now I have to think about how I'm gonna do. I have the minter contract, the market contract. How I'm gonna list right away. So first it means I think I have to add this stuff here. Save the transaction hash to the blockchain. I'm also thinking at some point reading the OpenSea contract, which is I had a brief look at it, and it's far more advanced than the ones that I've seen so far. It has multiple contracts with a bunch of inheritance, and I think it's gonna be interesting to look at that one, to learn from that, learn Solidity, more about Solidity. So now I have to think about how I'm gonna do. So I'm obviously gonna call methods. So maybe let listing equal await market contract dot methods dot make item. Also have to think about the filtering, but first let me focus on this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to focus on the filtering for the next page. So it's gonna be make item, then I need the NFT address, which is gonna be the minting contract, I think. And the token ID. So how I'm gonna do that? That's the issue. Maybe I should put a function here. Because I don't want to do the filtering on chain. That's the biggest problem. Because otherwise I can just add a function here that filters the struct or the mapping of the NFTs. Is there a mapping here? There isn't even a mapping. Because I'm only using the safe mint function. And that's the biggest problem. I don't understand really well how this function works. Maybe I should try to look it up. It has to come from one of these contracts here, probably ERC 721. Because I'm just using the counter to... Maybe I can retrieve the counter. I can just use token ID counter on the contract. But it's private, so I probably can't use this. Is there any way to get this from here? Maybe the owner can see it. Because obviously I don't want to hard code a number here. Here I think I can just put minter contract, which is the NFT contract, as the first argument. But then I don't want to put 0 as the token ID, because this is obviously not going to be 0. There's a chance that it's not 0. And that can be bad. So how do I know? Price is obviously gonna be price. I'm also not getting price from here. To create the metadata, I don't need the price. But I don't think I'm passing price here. I also forgot that I need to call this with the balance. Yeah, that's the thing. I need to change this as well. So I am passing price here. Oh. So create an NFT. I'm not passing here as well. So I should pass this as well. Because the thing here is that I'm asking for a price on the NFT to mint the NFT. Just something that I changed. So I need to send the value. I need to send this value in the transaction, but I also need to figure out. I need to test to see if the value is correct or not. And this should be only for the uploading the file. But that's on the simpler case. So maybe I can put a try catch inside of this try catch. So obviously I'm gonna need the ethers here as well. And I'm also probably gonna need this function here. But the price is already gonna come. Yeah, but this is the price. It's not the value. So ethers here. Minting price. And now I think I can use the same thing that I use on the task file to see the correct price. These conversions are always confusing to me. Like which number I should use here to be equivalent. But I guess it's just 0.08. Price ether. Yeah, because 0.08 is the minting price here. 0.08. So maybe I should just put it like this. And then just send transactions with value. You have to put value. Because this maybe it's on it's like an object here. I think that's the way that I did it. And that's the stuff that took me a long time to figure out. I couldn't find many places. That when you're testing these contracts and you have to pass a value as with the transaction, first you need to pass from one account to the other account using the send transaction. Then to this address from the owner to the address with the value, with an arbitrary value, just so the account has enough money to pay for the transaction. And then you pass, along with the transaction there, you're testing the value that is required by that function. In this form here, value, and then the value. So I think that's fine now. But the only issue is that I'm not sure if I should put this on a try accept block. Mint the NFT and save on the blockchain. Also remember doing something that explains what is the default account here. No, default account. Address of the account that is currently connected to the dApp via the wallet. So this is so it's sending from these accounts. Yeah, that's the thing. I need to check if the wallet has enough balance to mint. So I can do this either here or there on the create NFT. It's probably better to do here because this contains all the function. So maybe I should just put if. Yeah, but then I'm gonna have to use hooks here. That's the thing. Oh. Copilot came up with the thing for me. So if balance lower than... Oh yeah, I'm getting the balance. That's why I'm passing the balance. Forgot about that. If balance lower than minting price. And can I use this function? I guess this is an ether jazz thing, ethers thing. Yeah, from ethers lower down. I remember seeing this on some test files as well. LT is lower than and GT is greater than. And then here, what I'm putting. So here is the token ID. So how can I retrieve that from the thing? Maybe I should search for that as well. What is D here? So I guess I'll copy this one just to have that in mind. I guess should come after this. The challenge here is how can I know what is the token ID just with the contract the NFT contract and the default account. And what if they have multiple NFTs? And since I'm gonna be listing them simultaneously, they're always gonna have only one NFT. So maybe I can use the other file in order to... Yeah, because, let me think. Here it says NFT owner equals address. So it's on the add file. Because this add NFTs is the one that is populating the get assets is the one that is probably get NFTs. Where does this come from? From the minter. So I can just look at this function probably. Get NFTs. Total supply dot call. So I can just call this function probably. With the minter contract. Yeah, but then how do I know which ID is the one that I'm passing? That's the thing. Fetch NFT only. Yeah, but it's fetching for all the IDs probably. So I think I know what I should do. So I can look through this and... Oh, but then... I was gonna say I can look through this, make it equal to the default account. An if statement to check if it's equal to the default account. To see which ones are from the person that is connected right now, but... The issue with this is that it doesn't get a specific one. Because what if they have multiple NFTs? Or maybe it's not necessary because I'm only creating one. Yeah, but then it's kind of bad because if I do it this way, there's a risk that if they create multiple NFTs, they're all gonna be with the same price. That might not be what they want. So how do I do this? Oh, but actually it doesn't matter because... Well, let me think. Oh, maybe I can use the transaction. Yeah, why didn't I do that? I just pass transaction here. And then return listing. Maybe this one works. Oh, I need to get this one. So where is this file? On the minter. Oh, minter.js. On the UI? No. The utils. Minter. And where is the notification? It's here. So it's one level up, then components. Then UI, and then notification. Yeah, there we go. So hopefully this works. I'm not sure because this is not, the problem is that this is a transaction, not a, yeah, but before it was returning this with the create NFT. So I guess this does work. I guess I can just close this file. Because here just passing this and then the get assets. It's gonna pass to this one. And this was just the button that showed there, the right corner before. But then he's using this map here from the listing of. So if NFT owner equals address, it's gonna call the function there. I guess this function, if you don't create any NFT, it just gets all assets and then it doesn't matter that you're not creating the NFT. Because I'm thinking, how is it possible that when you don't have any NFTs, it doesn't show anything, but it still works. When you have a bunch of NFTs and you're not necessarily creating a new one, it's gonna show the NFTs. I guess it comes from this map, from this list here that is set through this function with the get assets here. Get NFTs. So maybe I should test now, to see if it works. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't forgot anything. So the only thing that I'm concerned is this transaction here, that I'm worried that's not gonna work. And also this is gonna return create NFT, it's gonna return the listing. So I also have to think about how I'm gonna display that. I also think that I don't need to save anymore here. Yeah, because this is only gonna work. That's the thing, I have to create the other page to test this one. Because I'm only gonna see if it works or not if I can display the NFTs from the market. And the other thing that I'm not sure about is how I'm gonna retrieve the ones, but I guess I can use the item stuff. I can figure out how to filter through the items list, the seller. So let me just test this and hopefully it doesn't break everything. I'm just gonna put this one. Price 12. So this is another thing, but I spent a bunch of time trying to figure this out, but this is just something that comes with the use contract kit from Silo. Is that if you are not logged into the MetaMask, it's gonna send this message here. So I'm gonna log in because I forgot. Sure. So I'm just doing the same stuff. I logged in. Put 11 as the price. Okay, apparently it worked. It didn't give me any mistakes or anything. Let's see on the inspect here. So I did the whole process and it didn't, but I'm not sure because it didn't ask for a charge or anything like that. It didn't ask me to validate the transaction. So that might be a problem. So it's telling me to use send async because send is deprecated. But that's a good sign, I think, because it seems like it went through the transaction here. The only thing that is weird is that I wasn't asked for anything. Yeah, so there is a problem, probably. So this, I guess, is just the save thing. I don't think these ones are related to the one that I'm working on right now. Execution reverted, unknown account. This is probably just for when I wasn't logged in. So maybe I can create a different one and see if my balance decreases, but it's weird that it's not requesting. And I guess it's warning me about this stuff here. That I don't need anymore. So let me see. So I have this balance here. It doesn't show the transaction, so I assume it didn't work, probably. Value must be a string, argument value. So 0.8. So I think the issue is here. On the value. Oh, it's because I have to do it like this, probably. It's still weird, even if it works, it's still weird because it's not prompting the wallet to confirm the transaction. It probably didn't work as well. I have the same balance. It's not a function. Yeah, so the balance.lt doesn't work. So if balance is lower than minting price, probably easier. With the balance, because I have to think about what's the unit of the balance. Maybe I have to convert the balance as well. Balance from do the same thing that I did here. I think I'm gonna do that if it doesn't work now. It's the next thing I'm gonna try. I think I can ignore these errors for now because they're not related to the thing that I'm seeing. Picture. Smart. Valid number of parameters for same int got 3 expected true. So maybe I should send this value with the send async instead. And see that. Just send the value of transaction. I suspect it's just putting the value inside of the send async. We check if it. This doesn't solve anything. I'll send from to, and then the value is inside there. So it's here. So now let's test again. Hopefully it works. Marketplace.methods. Well, it's on the Explore page. So let's try to use send again, because it's saying that this is not a function. Yeah, there we go. We're not able to estimate gas price. So why is this not allowing me to? So I have to calculate the gas as well. We're not able to estimate the gas, there might be an error in the contract and this transaction may fail. Want to proceed anyway. So yeah, but the good sign is that it worked. No, but this is not even the part that I was uncertain about. The part that I was uncertain about is the market contract stuff. So how to charge for gas? with transaction solidity Web3.js. The amount of the fee, so but the thing is, should I put this on the contract or Web3? So maybe I should put gas limit there, but doesn't make sense for me. Maybe you should just look for Web3 transactions. This one might be helpful. So I guess I can put this estimate gas here. Dot estimate gas, and then put the send inside of the callback. But I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it. So I'm gonna keep this one in mind and read this one. I don't remember as well if I charged, but I don't think I charged, true. Yeah, this is just, there's no re-entrant here, which is just a security measure for Web3 stuff. It should prevent re-entrancy attacks. Transfer from, and then the purchase item. This other function I'm just gonna use on the listing. Yeah, so when you purchase, you should go into your NFT list. So you should probably just create a function that passes that as a prop. I'll think about that later. I should focus on this one first. Support numbers with arbitrary precision that are required when doing calculation with ether values. 3 make value. Okay. Your gas calculation can be done like this. So it should be n, I assume is too big number. I don't understand this one really well. I guess it should be number divided and subtract the gas multiplied by parameters.gas price, which is this one. I guess I prefer the estimate gas one. And then I just call from that one and see if that works. It looks easier to me. And this is a more advanced situation, I think, where he wants to control the gas. I think I'm gonna try this one first, and if it doesn't work, I try the other one. So I have to put estimate gas, and then from. And then I can use the callback here. It's kind of confusing. Because I'm not really sure which one I want to use, is the callback or the promise. Because I guess here there's a no wait. But then I would need to call with resolve here. Which, with the dot then. So maybe callback is better. Yeah, this one's probably better. Now I'm just trying to think. So let me just copy this. The issue is if I put a gas here. If I put a value, it doesn't make sense to me. This is what I'm thinking about. So I can't call dot send here. So maybe if I do it the other way around. Like this. And let's just try and see what happens. I don't like this music that much. Send is not a function. So maybe, what if I try the other way around? I just put this stuff after. Yeah, but I have a feeling that this is not gonna work because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Because you're sending the transaction first, then estimating the gas. But maybe it works. Well, other thing that is bothering me is a bunch of error messages here. Yeah, it doesn't work because I'm checking for the gas after. Uh, that's the question that I have, but it's gonna be hard to find someone talking about this. Because even if it works, doing it through the front end, I'm not really sure if that's the best practice, because then what if something goes wrong with the front end, or you want to change it, then it seems to me that it would be better to have something inside of the smart contract that checks to see the gas. But I'm not sure if that's the standard or not. Apparently from this it seems like it is not. It's the standard is just to check with the Web3, but not sure. I assume that gas is the fee that you pay for miners in the transaction. So it always depends on the block and the miners, but I'm not really sure. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me that the logic should be handled by the front end and not on the blockchain itself. One easy way that I can think about is just changing the minting price, but that's the other thing. What if I don't have anything? Because I remember that it worked once when I wasn't charging for before I did all the market stuff. The transaction worked, and I was charged, I think, the gas. So I'm not really sure. Maybe it's because I'm setting a specific value with this one. So I think another interesting thing to test is if I don't send with any value, what happens? Let's Control C on this. Yeah, still we're not able to estimate gas. There might be an error. This transaction may fail. It doesn't make sense. Transaction decoding is not available for chain ID. And something tells me that it's better to put it on the smart contract itself. It's gonna be hard to find. Be right back. So I guess it just hit the 2 hour mark, 2.5 hour mark. The alarm went off. Yeah, but this is really annoying because not sure what to do now. The issue is that if I have to change the smart contract, then I need to redeploy and see if the files are correct. And yeah, to write the smart contract that the recipient address space, the gas fee of the transaction, not from the sender address. Let's say the A address sends 10 if to address B the transaction gets fee is 1 ETH, then only will be sent to address B. To address A. So I guess this is a different thing. And what he's saying is you should calculate from the beginning and the end of the contract, the price. See how much gas was used. Constant cost of transaction is 21k. And doing from the front end seems weird to me, but it seems like that's the way that they do it. But I guess after I solve this one, it gets easier because the other pages it seems like it's gonna be easier. All I have to do, hopefully, unless there's something that I'm missing. But I think all I'm gonna have to do is retrieve all the items from the market, and then on the explore page I don't filter anything and just show everything. And on the my NFTs I just show the persons. And then I can create a different component based on the model on the card one to show different buttons. If it's on the Explorer, show the buy button, and if it's on the my NFTs page, show the listing button. Actually, you can't really do that actually, because you're listing after you did it. So I guess I can use the same card just with the buy button. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. And the only difference between the Explorer and the my NFTs is the filtering. That I'm gonna use a map to do it. So it doesn't seem like it's gonna be hard. But these though, it's a pain because I'm not really sure about it, and it's kind of hard to find information. So maybe I'll watch videos as well to see how people did it on their own. To charge gas on transactions. Use smart contracts. Maybe I should open a question as well on Stack Overflow. Because it doesn't make sense as well in my mind, because if I send a transaction of a higher value, then the issue is it doesn't matter if I'm charging for the minting because it's not gonna be above the gas price. The minting should be gas price plus the additional stuff. But right now it seems like if you send through Web3, then it doesn't make sense because the gas price is gonna be higher than the minting, and then they're gonna pay just for the gas. So it doesn't make sense. So it has to be on the smart contract itself, I think. I guess another thing I can try to do is change the value here. So minting price, let's put, is 21, so let me put 29 or 30 actually, 0.3. And now let me see what happens. But I suspect I'm gonna have to change something on the contract, either increase the minting price, which seems weak to do because then the gas can change. But I guess it's the easier alternative. The other one is to try to figure out how people charge for the gas with the transactions. But it's weird that I didn't find much stuff about this. Most tutorials and people say that all you have to do is put the required there at the beginning to charge for the transaction. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Even here, to estimate gas, there might be an error in the contract and this transaction may fail. Which is weird because so there's something that I'm doing wrong on the contract, I think. Transaction decoding is not available for. Maybe we'll study the other marketplace contract as well, because they have the listing there. I'm not sure what's going on. So I think I'll stop here, probably go work out and then check out this, study this stuff. Just see if I'm doing anything wrong. I'm obviously doing something wrong, but just see what I'm doing wrong. It's either here that I need to estimate the gas or I need to change the contract. The NFT contract. So yeah, I'm probably gonna watch some tutorials as well. I might not come back today. Just gonna watch a bunch of tutorials and other stuff, just see how people do it. Yeah, so see you then. Probably gonna come back tomorrow, and if I didn't finish this, if I don't finish this off stream, then I'm gonna continue to do this. If I finish this, then I'm probably gonna do lead code challenges, I think, tomorrow. Or something like that, so yeah. See you then.